This is the world's most poisonous bird, which is weird considering it does not naturally produce any toxins whatsoever. So how the fuck does that work? Well, this flying carrot is a hooded patooey, and it's basically nature's version of Kirby. But not because they eat a lot. No, this little guy was discovered in Papua New Guinea back in the late 1980s by a scientist named Jack Dumbarker. And while handling the patooey in the field for his research, he very scientifically discovered a super cool bird fact. Touching them made his skin tingle like TV static before it went numb and then started to fucking burn. Upon further research, he discovered that may possibly have been because the secret herbs and spices God used to coat this sentient KFC bucket from beak to talon was fucking batraka toxin. The same shit that coats poison dart frogs, otherwise known as one of the most potent neurotoxins on the entire fucking planet. Because of course it's fucking neurotoxin. I cannot go 5 minutes without it being fucking neurotoxin. But like I said, they don't naturally produce it. No, they eat it. See, these fuckers love to eat these things called merillid beetles. And those beetles evolved batraka toxin specifically to avoid being eaten. That sign, however, did not stop the patooey, because it can't fucking read. Also, they have poison immunity. So, they eat the bugs, absorb their poison build, and redistribute it to their feathers and skin. Now, any parasites that bite them fucking die, touching them hurts you, and anything dumb enough to eat this forbidden zinger box enters the forbidden sleep. Have you ever wondered what would happen if God took a seal, jammed it full of steroids, and gave it a mouthful of razors? The answer is this fucking demon. And that demon has a name. It's a leopard seal. You can find them stalking the waters in Antarctica, and what makes them special is they are the only species of seal to be considered an apex predator. What does that mean? They are so fucking scary that nothing hunts them. They are the fucking Dark Souls boss of their ecosystem. And once you look at them, pretty easy to see why, because to start with, they're fucking huge.
Damn, boy, he's thick!
They are 3 meters long and weigh in at 600 kilos. But the scary thing about that isn't that it's the same weight as 3 grand pianos. It's that despite being heavier than a vending machine, if it wanted to eat you, you would never see it or hear it coming. See, this ocean dinosaur has 2 ways of hunting. The first is it'll wait for you to get in the water and swim you down at 40 kilometers an hour. But the other way they hunt? Fucking jump scares. Let me paint you a picture. You are a penguin walking across the ice with your buddies, and there's a crack that you need to hop across to continue. And so, bloke in front of you walks up to the edge, eyes the gap, goes to jump, and... Yet the leopard seal that currently has your mate in his mouth has been patiently camping under the ice for the past 3 hours, waiting for you to get close enough to be snatched into the KFC bucket. And if the bite from the mouthful of combat knives doesn't finish ya, the seal thrashing the body back and forth like a rag doll, skinning it alive and flinging its limbs all over the place as the other penguins watch, probably does. This fish has a gun. Yeah, this bad boy is an archerfish, and based on the description, you'd probably assume that Faye's fins here is found in the US, because, you know. But no, it may come as a shock to you, he's actually Australian. And now that you've got that piece of information, it should come as absolutely no fucking surprise to you when I tell you the reason it's packing heat is bugs.
Leave no Xeno standing!
See, these bad boys love eating insects. And specifically, they quite enjoy bugs found in the air or on land. And as the 9,000 IQ individuals among you may have figured out, that's a problem because it's a fucking fish.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water.
And last I checked, the motherfucker can't just swim through the air, which is why it's running a ranged build. But when I said gun, I meant less buying a deagle and more a super soaker. See, when an archerfish spots a happy meal hovering over the water, they will gently float their way up to just below the surface. They then lock onto their target, adjust for wind, and then suck in the water and spit it up to 3 fucking meters, nailing the target. And as it turns out, water gun is a super effective move. Knocking the insect into the water, where the archerfish just swims over and grabs it like a fucking snack. The thing that cracks me up about this is that, yeah, they do it to put food on the table. They can also do it purely to fuck with people. This tiny bug can kill you with a hamburger. This nasty little fucker is a Lone Star tick. You can find them in the United States of America and Mexico, and you may be wondering, how does a hamburger become a murder weapon? Well, considering Lone Stars are only 3mm long, we can safely rule out the thing picking up a cheeseburger and fucking beating you to death with it. What the tick will do, however, is bite you. And that bite is what begins the hamburger to homicide domino effect. You see, Lone Star ticks are parasites, and they're aggressive ones at that. They are one of the only species of tick that can catch your scent and run you down just to take a bite. And when those fangs sink into you, you will feel fucking nothing. The bite itself is painless. The bastard will latch onto you for up to 7 days, sucking the blood out of you and inflating itself like a fucking balloon before rolling his fat ass away. The problem is, while it was there, planted a fucking bomb. But that bomb has a long fuse. In fact, you'll be completely fine for about a month. Until one day, you go on a Macca's mish with the boys and decide to grab yourself a succulent cheeseburger. And it's not even the first cheeseburger you've had in the last month. So you suck that shit down like Kirby and think nothing of it. Till around 6 hours later, when it starts to get a little bit hard to breathe. Super cool Lone Star tick fact. Their bites can give you this nifty little thing called alpha-gal syndrome. What's that? Oh, you know, it's just a complete fucking allergy to red meat. It takes about a month to kick in, but when it does, eating it causes vomiting, diarrhea, and in some cases, anaphylaxis, which is why your throat is closing up and you are collapsing to the floor due to oxygen deprivation caused by a fucking Big Mac. I'm loving it. This spider is a vampire. Just not the way you think it is. This adorable little guy is literally called a vampire spider. And as you may expect, and for something named after Dracula, it craves one thing: blood. Just one teeny little problem with that. They can't fucking get it themselves. You see, vampire spiders are a species of jumping spider, and jumping spiders basically never bite people or other mammals. Second off, They don't even have the right equipment to get your blood out.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
Because I didn't call it a little guy for nothing. They are only a completely average 0.3 inches wide. They straight do not have the strength or length to penetrate your skin. So that begs the question, where the fuck do they get their blood? I mean, what could a spider possibly get its hands on that carries human blood? Gotcha! Yeah, it's fucking mosquitoes. The vamp spiders specifically target these annoying fuckers, but not just mozzies in general. No, they wait for them to bite something first. And then, once they've completed the blood heist and try to make off with the goods, the vamp spider hits the mozzie with a "The fuck do you think you're going, cunt?" and jumps it, murdering the mosquito and sucking the blood out as a sweet treat. I guess if it's a vampire that kills vampires, it's less Dracula and more a blade spider. This spider is a cowboy.
I want to be a cowboy, baby.
This is a bowler spider, and you can probably find one in your backyard because they are fucking everywhere. USA, Mexico, South America, Madagascar, and of course, Australia. And the reason I'm calling it a cowboy is because it uses its web like a lasso. You see, where a standard spider sweats its ass off, spinning thousands of strands into some elaborate art piece, hoping that a fly headbutts it, the bowler spider does not fuck with that complicated bullshit, and it spins up a single strand of web with a sticky bit at the end, kind of like one of those plastic hands you used to get as a kid.
Yoink.
And instead of praying to God that a fly shows up, the bowler spider has a guaranteed way to grab a meal. Seduction. You see, these bad boys can produce chemicals that perfectly mimic the pheromones of a female moth looking to reproduce. The males then catch the scent of the hot single moths in your area ad and float towards it like a pie on the windowsill. However, upon arrival, they do not find their moth bride. They actually find something that looks suspiciously like a strand of spiderweb. And while our moth friend here is trying to come to terms with the fact that he's been catfished,
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
the bolus tosses out that web strand, sticks it to the moth, and fucking takes him, dragging the very confused and probably still a little aroused moth into the branches, where it is bitten and pumped full of poison. I'm sorry, man, that's so fucking funny. Old mate thought he was going to continue his bloodline, and I just know on the way up to the spider, he was talking like,
So no head?
a lot of people are scared of spiders. But did you know spiders are also scared of spiders? More specifically, this fucking demon. That is an assassin spider. And as with most things that make you physically recoil from the screen, yeah, it's found in fucking Australia.
¿Quieres?
Which makes a lot of sense when you learn that this ET-looking motherfucker was designed in a lab by God himself for one purpose: turning their extended family tree into a fucking McDonald's menu.
Let me get a...
These things eat exclusively other spiders, and the way they execute their cousins is by using their own tools against them. See, they start their hunts by finding a succulent arachnid meal hanging out in its web. The assassin walks over and starts playing that silk like it's fucking Guitar Hero. The victim, and yes, the spider in this situation is a fucking victim, feels those vibrations in its web and assumes the fly it door-dashed earlier has arrived, gets up off the couch, and goes to grab its food. However, when they reach the front door, and this fucking demon from the 7th circle kicks it down, they realise there is no DoorDash. They are the DoorDash. And before the victim can fucking blink, the assassin stabs it through the chest. Because apparently the circle of hell this thing crawled out of is fucking London. And once the victim is firmly impaled, it uses that long-ass neck and oversized jaws to lift it off the ground so it can't fight back while it is pumped full of venom. Once that happens, the assassin spider just fucking holds the victim there, stone cold staring at it as the life slowly fades from its eyes.